This week, we got some update on Steam Deck's Windows compatibility, as well as some new playable games that have been added. We also got some bad news about Halo Infinite's co-op campaign, and we got a little bit more to talk about. So let's just go ahead, together, as a people, and check it out! And welcome to another sensational Sunday. I'm Mike, and yes, I am back to talk about the tech and gaming news, even though sometimes they don't fit together, but we have to make them fit together, kind of like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I'm not going to accomplish that today at all, so let's just go ahead and get the news that doesn't fit out of the way first. So if you caught my live stream on Tuesday, I covered the Apple event, so I just have a brief follow-up about this. Anybody who watched the live stream, this is not going to be shocking to them. But it has come out since that event that the 27-inch iMac is most likely discontinued. So I mentioned this during the live stream because I noticed that Apple said that they had one more product left to transition, which was the Mac Pro. So I was like, okay, well, obviously that means that they're not going to do a 27-inch iMac or a higher-end Mac Mini, that this Mac Studio is kind of replacing both of them. And I was like, that kind of makes sense because it's already a desktop. And they made that 27-inch monitor that basically adds the webcam and all the stuff that you would get if you bought an iMac. So 27-inch iMac doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, again, not really surprising. I kind of got that from what Apple said at the end of the presentation. But this is kind of more confirmation about it, that there's probably not going to be a 27-inch or bigger, higher-end iMac anymore, which I hate all-in-ones anyway. I wouldn't buy a high-end Apple computer at this point in my life, but if I did, I definitely wouldn't want an all-in-one. I just hate it. There's too many points of failure in one device for me to spend that much money on it. But that's just me personally. So with the follow-up from my live stream out of the way, let's hop over to the gaming news. Now let's start off with the bad news. We're gonna bring it down. We'll bring it down a little bit. So Halo Infinite's multiplayer co-op campaign has been delayed again. So initially it was delayed. It was supposed to launch with the Season 2 content, which launches in May. Well, 343 has got out there and said that it's going to be delayed even further. It's not going to launch in May with the Season 2 content. So it's still going to launch during Season 2. They still haven't committed to an exact date of when it's going to launch. They said basically it's a struggle to try to do this co-op local split screen as well as 4-player online co-op and have it be like a seamless experience. So they really want to make sure that they get it right. And to be honest, after Halo Infinite came out, after it has a little delay and everything before, and they kind of reconfigured the game, overall, it's been a really good experience. I finished the campaign recently. The story itself was kind of to me, as someone who's played all the games and played through all the story modes. Like, the storyline was, it was whatever, but the gameplay was really fun. So I am excited for the co-op to come out. I'm kind of going to give them a little bit of leeway because they have done right by this game so far. So it still sucks that it's not going to be out in time for Season 2. But personally, I don't mind waiting and playing the campaign again with friends. Like, playing through the campaign, it really feels like it was set up for a multiplayer experience, especially with the bases, being able to summon vehicles and weapons. So I'm really excited to see how that works when they finally get it working. So personally, I can be patient. I've already finished it myself, like through the single player. So I'm ready to go back and play it again on co-op because the gameplay is just that fun. So let's hop over to the Steam Deck news. And since we're already talking about a Microsoft game, let's talk about some other Microsoft games. So Microsoft has put out an official list of Steam Deck compatible games from verified to playable to not working. So we can run through this list really quick. So under verified, which means that it's verified and working, we have Psychonauts 2, Hellblade, Battletoads, and Max the Cursed Brotherhood. So these are all the verified ones. The playable ones, which work, but might be questionable. We got Sea of Thieves, we got Forza Horizon 4 and 5, we got Quantum Break and State of Decay. Currently unsupported due to anti-cheats as Gears 5, Halo Master Chief Collection, Halo Infinite, and Microsoft Flight Simulator 10. So that is the list. Halo Infinite being one of the standout games to me as far as one of the games not working because that is their biggest release right now, so that kind of sucks. But hopefully they can get that working. Of course, these are the games that are on Steam. These are not the Game Pass version. As for right now, Game Pass still is not working on Steam Deck, at least through SteamOS. It might work through Windows. We're about to talk about that in a minute. But yeah, these are the Microsoft games that you can purchase on Steam, not the ones you get through subscription. So if you're like me and you don't really buy the Microsoft games on Steam because you have Game Pass, then right now, the only option on Steam Deck is probably going to be streaming. Unless you do want to take the chance and install Windows, which can now be done finally, sort of. So the drivers have finally been released to run Windows on Steam Deck, but it's still not 100% great experience. So they released the GPU driver and Wi-Fi drivers for Windows 10. Windows 11 is still not supported right now until a BIOS update comes out in the future. And also, dual booting is not supported with SteamOS right now. So if you install Windows, then you only have Windows up there. You can't dual boot between SteamOS and Windows. And also no audio at all. Like no audio drivers work. So no speaker audio or headphone jack audio. You can still get audio through Bluetooth or plugging in an adapter through a USB-C port. So there's kind of a big drawback. The audio thing for me is the biggest red flag, is to, like, you know, maybe just hold off if you want to install Windows until they get that audio situation figured out. I also watched the Linus Tech Tips video. He actually put out a video, well, as of this dropping will be yesterday, about it. And it's more than that. It seems like performance, even in comparable titles, like comparing it directly to the SteamOS counterpart, is pretty bad. Like, he played Elden Ring in Windows and it was just stuttery the whole time, and it got less frames. Also, there was some weird stuff with the controls in Windows, even trying to do emulators. So it seems like it'd be better off to wait if you do have a Steam Deck and you want to install Windows. Unless there's something that you really want to run and you're willing to deal with the limitations right now, I'd say that it's probably worth waiting. It's a computer, so theoretically it should get better in the future. It just seems like right now it's probably not the best experience on Windows. And that's all we got for this news roundup today. So let me know what you think about Halo Infinite's co-op being delayed, about the Steam Deck's Windows issues. Do you even have a Steam Deck? I don't know anybody that has one. I'm waiting. I'm waiting patiently, but it's hard. But I guess I'll just have to wait off camera because I'm bringing the video to a conclusion. But if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification to get notified when I drop a video. And always do at least 2 things at the same time. Peace. Like playing through the campaign, it really feels like it was my vacuum.